This itself is a symbol of Herat, and the greatest and most historic place in Herat province is the Ikhtiyaruddin Castle. There were also buildings called Zarnagar, which were used for meetings and gatherings of elders, as well as a coin mint and a bathhouse. Once, the Indian ambassador visited, and when we explained these artifacts to him, he began to cry. He said, "You had such advanced medical and surgical instruments 900 years ago." Before the Christian era, there were artifacts such as spearheads and stone tools that were made there at that time. A historic and military fortress at the heart of history. This is Herat, a city of captivating beauty that makes hearts long to behold it. Its tall buildings, solid roads and alleys, wide paved streets, beautiful urban order, cleanliness, and the high level of culture of the people of Herat are among the qualities that attract visitors and inspire everyone to explore ancient Herat. We too have come to the heart of Herat to expand the scope of a documentary about its historical monuments, because it is these monuments that reveal the ancient background and historical value of every geography, country, and society. Now, slowly, we move toward the Ikhtiyaruddin citadel in the heart of Herat. The glow of twilight spreads across the citadel's walls.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
A strong and solid gate made of thick wooden panels, high-baked brick walls, towering bastions, royal harems, steep stairways, and diverse architectural beauties all draw the eye. It should be noted that Herat is a crossroads of civilizations and an ancient city of history. Every era has left its marks here, and the monument that has remained a witness to all these periods is the Ikhtiyaruddin citadel. This is not merely a fortress, it is the beating heart of Herat. A symbol of power, war, knowledge, and culture. Historical monuments are the mirror of a living nation's identity. Every ancient fortress, minaret, shrine, and tall tower tells the story of a people's greatness and pride. For this reason, the Ikhtiyaruddin citadel is the clearest symbol of Herat province's antiquity.
The citadel of Ikhtiyaruddin, according to the people, is the symbol and emblem of Herat. One of the largest and most historic places located in Herat is the citadel of Ikhtiyaruddin itself. Its history dates back to the time of the Achaemenid Empire, more than 550 years before Christ.
A historical monument is like an identity card. Just as a passport or a national ID gives a person citizenship, a historical monument serves as the identity card of a country and introduces that country to the world.
The first foundation of this citadel was laid before the 3rd century AD, around 330 AD. Research has shown that traces and remains dating back 500 years earlier than this date are also present at the site.
This citadel has 8 different historical narratives. One of these narratives says that Alexander the Great, in 330 BC, when he came and conquered Herat, built this citadel. However, later research conducted by German archaeologists discovered remains that date 500 years earlier than Alexander the Great. It is said that the citadel already existed and that many battles were fought here. Alexander reportedly besieged the citadel for nearly 9 months before capturing it. It is believed that he destroyed it and then rebuilt the citadel once again on the same ruins.
یا حمله اسکندر مقدونی در سال 330 قبل از میلاد به انجیل و وقتی که او حمله میکنه.
After the invasion or attack of Alexander the Great in 330 BC, when he attacked this area, he noticed a group of people living on a hill, as seen in the images. The citadel of Ikhtiyar-ad-Din is built on a hill, higher than the surrounding city. When Alexander the Great moved toward the Hindu Kush, this attracted his attention that people were living on a hill, forming a civilization. This led him to attack, killing the people who lived there, and then rebuilding a new fortress with Greek architectural styles. For this reason, most international historians attribute the foundation stone and history of the citadel to Alexander the Great.
The citadel covers 33,000 square meters and is built on 17 jeribs of land, making it, in terms of size and scale, the first fortress of its kind among Asian countries.
The citadel of Herat, or Ikhtiyar-ad-Din citadel, covers approximately 30,000 square meters, which is about 17 jeribs, including the surrounding park. The citadel itself is about 250 meters long and between 70 to 75 meters wide.
There are also other narratives and stories about the founding of this citadel that reveal an even older historical background. One of these traditions says,
از تاریخ و شواهدی که نسل به نسل و سینه به سینه بین مردم انتقال پیدا کرده.
Based on historical accounts and evidence passed down orally from generation to generation, it is said that the first foundation stone of this citadel was laid by a girl named Shamira. This is a very interesting story, mostly heard from the elders of Herat. It is said that when people first began forming a civilization in Herat, they entered the region, according to one narration, through a district called Obey. Gradually, as they formed a civilization, disputes arose among them, causing them to split into 2 groups. One group was larger and more oppressive, while the other group was more oppressed and righteous. The weaker group was forced to pay annual tribute or taxes to the stronger group. Eventually, they grew tired of the oppression and devised a plan. They went to the ruler of the oppressive group and said, "We will pay you 4 years' worth of taxes at once. Just leave us in peace for 4 years." He agreed. They paid the 4 years of taxes in one payment and then left the Obey district, moving to another area of Herat. There, they noticed the hill on which the citadel of Ikhtiyar-ad-Din now stands. They built primitive walls around it and dug large moats outside the walls. The exact date of this event is unknown, but it is said that the first foundation stone of the citadel of Ikhtiyar-ad-Din was laid by the same girl, Shamira.
ولی اولین سنگ تهداب قلعه اختیارالدین همون دختر که نام از او شمیره بود میگذاره. و بعد از اسکندر مقدونی حکومت‌های
After Alexander the Great, the Sasanian Empire ruled, followed by the arrival of Islam in 651 AD and the Islamic Caliphate in Afghanistan. After the Caliphate came successive dynasties, the Tahirids, Ghaznavids, Seljuks, and Ghurids. Later, the region faced the Mongol invasion. After the Mongols, other governments emerged, followed by the Saffarids and Ahmad Shah Baba Abdali. In later periods, the citadel was mostly used as a military base or a prison.
و بعد از او حکومت‌های وقت بوده که البته از قلعه بیشتر در زمان به عنوان یک مکان نظامی یا زندان استفاده می‌شد.
According to this account, the foundation of the Ikhtiyar-ad-Din citadel was laid by a girl named Shamira. From the time of Alexander the Great through the Sasanian period, and later until the Islamic conquests in 651 AD, this citadel stood as a symbol of power. During the Ghaznavid, Ghurid, and Seljuk periods, the citadel was an important center of governance in Herat. It was during these eras that the fortress came to be known as Ikhtiar-ud-Din, named after the ruler who was responsible for guarding it. The citadel was built as a defensive center to protect the ancient city of Herat from invasions. History is not only a tale of beauty. The Herat citadel was besieged many times, destroyed, and rebuilt again. After the Mongol invasions, it was reused as a military center during the reign of Ahmad Shah Abdali. The storms of time passed heavily over this citadel, yet it has remained standing. From art and literature to philosophy and astronomy, everything flourished here. The citadel hosted books, libraries, and scholarly centers. It was the heart of authorship, mysticism, Sufism, literature, and the growth of civilization. The Ikhtiar-ud-Din citadel consists of two major sections, one of which has an older historical background than the other. It includes vast royal harems and a hall known as Zarnagar, where large gatherings and councils were held.
The citadel consists of two main sections, the upper citadel and the lower citadel. The lower citadel is newer in age. From inside the harem area, the section ahead is known as the upper citadel, which includes the royal residence. On the other side were buildings known as the Zarnagar house, where major meetings of elders were held. There were also a mint, baths, and heated bathhouses used at the time. The citadel has about 21 watchtowers used for protection and surveillance. It contains many offices and rooms. Inside the lower citadel are offices, museum rooms, exhibition halls, a museum laboratory, museum storage depots, and several exhibition galleries. These include an exhibition of Behzad-era works from the Timurid period, an exhibition by the Herat Calligraphers Association displaying about 50 calligraphy works, and 3 main museum exhibition halls located within the citadel.
The citadel has 21 tall towers, used for guard duty and defense, as well as countless administrative rooms that housed various departments.
دانشناسی از هر جای دنیا که آمده اما چشم از او واقعا خیره ساخته چون دیوارهای از او با یک ضخامت بسیار بسیار بالای ساخته شده.
Archaeologists who have come from all over the world have truly been amazed by this site, because its walls were built with an extremely great thickness. The citadel has 21 watchtowers. At that time, the soldiers stationed here were always on rotating shifts atop the watchtowers, constantly alert to prevent enemy attacks. Alongside the towers, there are nearly 109 arrow slits, where a soldier was always assigned to sit with the bow and arrows available at the time, guarding and defending the citadel.
This fortress is called the Shah-Nishan Citadel. It is divided into two sections, the upper citadel and the lower citadel. The lower citadel was mainly used by soldiers, guards, and for administrative purposes. The upper citadel was the residence of the king, the royal palace. This upper citadel itself is divided into two parts. The area where the royal family lived, consisting of houses located in the northern section, and another set of houses in the southern section, which served as the summer and winter residences where the king lived with his family.
When the Timurids came to power, Herat became the cultural capital of the world. The architecture and calligraphy of the Timurid era gave the Ikhtiar-ud-Din citadel such beauty that even today it cannot be replicated.
From an architectural perspective, as you may have seen in the footage, it was constructed in a style that even today would be extremely difficult, if not impossible, to replicate, especially during the Timurid era. At that time, Herat was the capital of Greater Khorasan. Remarkably sophisticated architecture and decorative elements were used, making its construction highly challenging even for modern architects. For example, the Timurid Tower. What I personally refer to as the VIP section of the citadel is still adorned with decorations from the Timurid period to this day.
People lived here 2,700 years ago, building villages and settlements. If that tradition of construction and development had continued uninterrupted until today, Herat might have achieved a level of prosperity comparable to European countries, or even greater. During the Timurid period, Herat's construction and urban development were so advanced that it is often said the Renaissance of the East began in Herat. The reconstructions and developments of that era were on par with Italy and other European countries, and progress in science, astronomy, engineering, and the arts was equal to that of Europe at the same time.
With the beginning of the Abbasid Caliphate, the citadel became part of Islamic civilization. It was not only a center of war, but also a home of knowledge and culture. The Ikhtiyaruddin Citadel Museum. It should not be forgotten that this ancient citadel also houses a historical museum. Let us slowly enter the museum hall inside the citadel. On the right and left, ancient pottery, weapons, coins, inscriptions, and other antiquities are displayed, objects that visitors come to see and observe with great respect. The Ikhtiyaruddin Citadel is not only a symbol of wars, but also a treasury of ancient memories of civilizations. The museum inside preserves relics from the Ghaznavids, Ghurids, Sasanians, and other ancient dynasties, artifacts that even the storms of time could not destroy.
Here we have artifacts that date back 2,400 years before Christ, and others from 1,800 years before Christ. Some of these include spearheads, and some are stone artifacts. These items were produced in those ancient times, as well as artifacts from the Kushan period around the time of Christ, and later from the Islamic era, such as relics from the Ghaznavid period, the Ghurids, the Seljuks, and the Timurid era. The stone pieces you are seeing now belong to the Timurid period.
Here are bronze vessels with hundreds of years of antiquity. Here too are the swords and armor of the Ghaznavid armies that once shook the battlefields. In this museum, more than 4,000 registered historical artifacts are preserved, most of them inherited from Islamic periods and caliphates, revealing a history that spans thousands of years.
We have approximately 3,500 historical artifacts. If we also consider those that are neither registered nor officially recorded, the total reaches nearly 4,000 historical artifacts. Most of these belong to the Islamic period. Among the artifacts that attract the most attention and are most favored by visitors are those produced within Afghanistan itself. For example, there are firearms manufactured in Afghanistan about 160 years ago during the reign of Amir Sher Ali Khan. These were made at the Kabul military factory and are known as muzzle-loading rifles. When we explain these artifacts to visitors, they demonstrate the skills and capabilities of our past, capabilities that we may no longer possess today, but which clearly existed at that time.
In the archive shelves, coins from the Sasanian era shine, symbols of the economic strength of ancient times. Behind every object lies an unforgettable story, the lives, beliefs, arts, and wars of the people of that era. The museum also preserves historical medical instruments from the Ghaznavid period, dating back 900 years, demonstrating Afghanistan's advanced knowledge of science and medicine at that time.
There are also medical instruments displayed here in the Herat Museum that date back about 900 years to the Ghaznavid period. Once, the Indian ambassador visited, and when we explained these artifacts to him, he began to cry. He said, "You had such advanced medical and surgical instruments 900 years ago, yet today your patients travel to India, Pakistan, and places far beyond Afghanistan for treatment." This section clearly shows that the past itself is history. One that reflects our deep civilization and highly advanced heritage.
Visitors who come to this museum do not come merely for sightseeing, they come to touch thousands of years of history up close. This museum is a living proof of Afghanistan's identity, ancient culture, and the eternal greatness of Herat. Instead of traveling to other countries for recreation, it is better for citizens to spend their money visiting their own country's historical and ancient sites, so they can become more familiar with their proud history. Many people had long wished to see such historical and ancient places but had only viewed them through images in the virtual world. Now they have come to see them up close. With the arrival of the Islamic Emirate and the establishment of full security across the country, dozens of domestic and foreign tourists visit this citadel every day to see Afghanistan's ancient history and monuments firsthand. Since last year, more than 4,000 domestic and over 400 foreign tourists have visited the citadel. With improved security, tourist visits to Afghanistan are increasing day by day.
When we speak of a 5,000-year history, if these things did not exist, if we could not see them or present them clearly to nations and peoples, we would not be able to demonstrate our identity. It is these historical monuments that reveal the 5,000-year history of our country. These historical remains still exist and remain here today.
We had seen photos and images of this place on social media and television screens, so we wanted to come and see it in person. Now we are very happy, because what we have seen here is even more impressive than the information we had previously received.
Currently, around 15 security personnel are on duty day and night to protect the Ikhtiyaruddin citadel from damage.
یک خط که ما رو یک دیوار بکشیم یک خیانت گفته میشه.
Even drawing a single line on the wall is considered an act of betrayal, as it damages preservation and protection. Fortunately, since the emirate came to power, whereas previously only 2 people were responsible for protecting the citadel, we now have 15 security guards stationed here whose sole responsibility is the protection and preservation of the site and preventing damage.
Due to its cultural value, the citadel is part of Afghanistan's cultural heritage. Sections damaged by natural events are being restored to proper standards with the help of foreign institutions and skilled engineers, and the work is actively ongoing.
و در مورد خرابی‌های مثلا طبیعی که شده مثل زلزله که در هرات رخ داد.
Regarding natural damage, such as after the earthquake that occurred in Herat, many of the towers were damaged. However, fortunately, we are in contact with many institutions, and restoration work is underway according to proper standards. Foreign engineers are working on the site while preserving its historical authenticity. Thanks to this, no long-term or serious damage remains.
From the upper part of the citadel, Herat can be seen, illuminated by evening lights that brighten the heart of the city. The Ikhtiyaruddin citadel is not merely a legacy of old walls that tell stories of hardship. It is the living, eternal symbol of thousands of years of human hopes, rule, struggle, war, and knowledge. Anyone who seeks the history of Herat must visit the Ikhtiyaruddin citadel. This fortress is the heart of Herat and an everlasting name in the heart of history. One that will never be hidden or erased from the lives of Afghans.